Oh, a little while ago, I mentioned a particular incident that happened February 10th in the early, early morning hours. That was a Tuesday morning. A pizza was delivered to someone who didn't order. So it was supposedly, allegedly a fan, supposedly, allegedly from Ohio. Now, was there anything wrong with that? No. I think that that was great. But for me, that almost seems like a calling card. And today, if you look, and sorry, my son is playing. If you look today and you Google pizza and Benny, you'll get some answers. Let's get into the big book of Bull. So, you know what? We're talking about now some things that seem off the charts to many, but many of you have been thinking about it. Here we are in day 74. Oh my gosh. Day 74, Nancy Guthrie. Now, why am I bringing up pizza? Well, you see, that was kind of code words for things that the epi guy was doing at his epicenter on the island and other places. Was not pretty. They talked about pizza. They talked about grape soda. I want you to think about this word grape and think about really what that could or does maybe really mean. During some investigations, the pizza and the grape soda came out in some communications. I mean, people email back and forth, but there were thousands of them. Now, what does this have to do with Nancy? Well, I'm going to tell you. I believe that this is much bigger than what anybody could think. But was Nancy involved with that? No. Was anybody else involved with that? No. But you see, someone or some ones that have an ego that, I don't know, might be associated with the epicenter and wanted to get their point across while there was a lot of media. Many of you picked this up. You mentioned it when I mentioned it. Now, I'm not saying that this person was wrong, and please don't come at me because guess what? Boom. What I'm saying is sometimes things like that can be arranged so that people know. Now, of course, it's not the horse head in the bed. It's not like that. But you know what? There's no coincidence. No coincidence. So what does this have to do? Well, you know, we can go back to yesterday's little lesson on day 74. We could talk about the 2019. I just caught myself. But there's the 2018 indication. And a lot of these communications that came through over email happened to be in those years of 2018 and 2019. You see, Miss S brought out, we all knew it, we all knew what was happening. And then we have the McClintocks. You know who they are. Can't really say their names. You know, names shouldn't be mentioned in the comments. Use initials or whatever, because mainly they're blocked. But when the McClintocks tested in front of Congress, oh, did I say tested? maybe there's another word for that, could be testified in front of Congress, especially Miss Hill was asked about that. And what do you put up as an entrance to a fence or a yard? Do you remember in the back of Nancy's? Now I'm trying to put some things together here, so stay with me. Do you remember in the back of Nancy's house or on the side, the fence has a gate that can be connected? Then it gets even worse, and words associated with a name of drip. Don't explain it in the comments. I'm sorry. If you don't know what it is, you have to look it up, but I wouldn't use Google. You're not probably going to get a lot of information. I'm going to tell you, I believe that this is, there's a lot of things that are coming out now. A lot. And if you put two and two together, look, here's the thing. I am totally convinced, in my opinion, that these people were initially involved with what happened with Nancy. One thing led to another. And when these things happen, no one is in a hurry. As an example, look when Jim Carrey's girlfriend passed away. When Jim Carrey's girlfriend passed away, that was a few years ago. And it was just a few weeks ago that we see the new and improved Jim Carrey. He voiced a lot of things here. No, I don't have to be careful. You don't have to worry. What I'm saying is, pardon me, tournament is happening these days, and I can't stop what I'm doing because there's a tournament. Look, we live here, right? I've got cats snoring. I've got pens pooping. I've got people laughing. This is life, and this is it. But I'm doing this because I want you to understand there's some dark stuff associated with all of this. Dark, and I mean beyond dark, evil monsters. Think of Ginny. Think of how she pointed the fingers, and then there were some arrests that were made. There will still be more. There are still things that are coming out. There are still laptops that will be investigated. There are still more things that everybody is being put on notice for. It's my understanding that Miss S from the Tomorrow Show, you know what I'm talking about, and I have to talk like this. Give me a break. From the Tomorrow Show, she knows. And you know what? I am positive that LE, you know what LE means? That's some type of an enforcement. It could be, I don't know, law. They know. And right now, I'm going to tell you why a lot of these things are scrubbed and pushed away and not talked about, is because of the absolute horrific content. I've seen some of it. I've seen a few videos that really want to make your stomach turn. And it is not appreciated when somebody brings something out associated with that, because as much as they feel it's okay and they can kind of sort of brag about things, they feel like also have to hide it. But there are many big players involved with these things too. That's why, my darlings, it is very, very important for you to understand that, you see, this one person here, whom I still believe is walking around no more on the island, but walking around, there's, I mean, my goodness, all kinds of other property that these people from the epicenter owns. They're just looking for more. There are more things going on. I don't know if you understand that or not, but some even churches are involved. Some, so I'm going to tell you this right now. Right now, on the internet, and especially on the tubes of you and on the book of faces and the talkie tick and wherever you want to go, and in the grams of Insta, there's this thing, you're seeing a lot of AI coming out. You're seeing a lot of AI. Now, AI can be good. And like everything else, AI can be bad. But I'm also going to say this, my darlings, and I'm going to preach this for a long time. And that is, I believe the fear of AI could be a distraction of what other things are going on. I don't know if you realize it, but I've been doing a little research for another channel, another project over the last few days, and I'm going to tell you, you have to have some really big intestinal fortitude in able to sit here and pray to God and say, "Oh my God." What is being unleashed on this earth? What is being unleashed in this atmosphere? The portals that are being opened, sometimes I just can't fathom it. Now, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to wake you up. Because these things alone can't happen without human beings being behind it. What am I saying? Well, it takes a human being to summon something from a portal. It takes a human being to and I'm going to say that's about 98% of the time. It takes a human being to feed AI, because AI doesn't know anything. It's as blank as this piece of paper. It's like a baby's mind when it's first born, ready like a little sponge to soak up everything. Because AI doesn't know except for what you put into it. And it can scan and it can analyze, and that's all. It's a good workflow. It can take the place of a lot of horrendous research, but you've got to check on it. You can't just take it for what it's worth, because sometimes there are things that are hidden. Even our Bibles that are translated from the manuscripts and the Word, you better be careful what you're getting a hold of, because it's meant to manipulate. So why am I bringing this up today? Well, a lot of people in the chat have been talking to me about, or mentioning drips, and they're mentioning the pizzas and the grape sodas and all this other, and people are saying, huh? What? It all comes back to this, and all the people that are involved. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Nancy was 1000% the innocent victim. She is a byproduct. In fact, she is the product of revenge in this. Because these people don't like it when you make them when they garner the attention. Oops, something is going outside. There's a worker. Let me pause this. I'll be right back. Here we are back again. Got a condo made of stone beside me that had a water leak, and it has ruined the entire condo. Thank God our condo was immune for that, because I couldn't hack it. Anyway, I think it's time that we bring some things out, because the one thing that I want you to know is that these people that are associated with the epicenters, they give orders. They never do the dirty work themselves. So they give orders, and they employ other people to do their dirty work. Well, what other people? Let's go back just for a second. In this particular case of Nancy, it's someone close to her. It is a setup. It is dark. It is a cover-up, in my opinion. And for those of you who say, well, you know what, maybe LE needs to know this. They know it. It's not a matter of can they do something, it's will they do something. It's not a matter of them knowing it, it's a matter of them doing something about it. You don't know what happens behind the scenes. And my darlings, come Saturday night, we're going to be talking about some things that's going to just blow your mind, but I think in a good way. Some things are going to start making sense, but not so much about this case, but life in general. I think you're going to really enjoy that. Come with me Saturday night at 7 p.m. So now, my darlings, I've had some chats with myself, okay? And now I hear the long people. When they start coming close, we'll pause again. But I always ask and I meditate at night before I fall asleep. Or then I just distract myself and I work on workflow and work on, what's next and what we are going to be looking at next, etc. And then all of a sudden something pops in. And something did pop in. You see, we talked yesterday about, and I'm just going to draw one. I don't know what one looks like. But we talked yesterday about, and maybe some of you, forgive my drawing here, for those of you who are more professional. This is winging it. Here we are. And of course, this will be a frame. And I want to set some perspective for you, okay? So I want you to know what this is. A mirror. And I said yesterday that I wish I could look into Nancy's mirrors. I cannot. I don't have mirrors here in my home except in the bathroom, and they're attached to the walls. I don't have mirrors all around, or even reflective glass, anything like that. They're always non-glare. Why? Well, because mirrors can be portals. They can be, on another level, an esoteric level, recording. What do they record? The energy. That's why they tell you never to hang one mirror on one wall and hang another on another wall. And many paranormal properties do this. And it's because you've got a mirror reflecting here and you've got a mirror reflecting here, and it causes an infinite amount of ability. And guess what? That becomes a vortex. And if you stand in the middle of this mirror vortex, even walking through, I can't walk through something like that. And those types of situations, it stops me because I've got a high energy vibration going on. And I get warned by my energy. It's like a force field. I get warned. My frequency can't handle going into that. And if you go into that and you stare into one and you're watching the reflection of another, that might mess you up a little bit. But I wish that I were there, and I wish I could go into the crime scene. There's no way that I can. Don't even ask. I'm not even going to ask. I'm not invited, because it seems as though now the family is pretty much put out by people that are wanting to be involved, and including the Pima County that are chasing people away, threatening arrests, all this other stuff. Well, a lot of good people just want to help. And I have to wonder, why? You got voluntary help wanting to look. So this mirror of Nancy's holds a key. It holds information. These people have walked through whatever mirror is there. I wish I could see some inside pictures. I don't think that we ever will, but whomever walks through there, it's like it's a recording. It's like a digital recording, only on the energy sector, and that never goes away. This is why I won't buy mirrors in antique stores. The other thing that I saw, I couldn't really figure it out for a moment, and that was this. And at first I thought, what is this? And then I realized that is a heart. The energy of the house is trying to tell us something about Nancy's heart. Now, obviously, the energy, the mirrors, they understand the timing, but my friends, I'm still having a hard time putting this timeline together about the pacemaker, about the heart thing, the 41 minutes, all of this. I'm just having a flippin' hard time. When did her pacemaker disconnect? Does it disconnect in the house? Did it disconnect outside of the house? Did they force it to disconnect? What happens? Because I'm going to tell you something, my darlings. Those people that were employed to take her did not have her best interest at heart. There's no way. And the reason that many of us have a hard time dealing with that is because we wouldn't do that ourselves. I know many of you, if you went into somebody's house to take them, the first thing you'd say is, well, let's see, do you have water? Do you have medication? Should we take this? Oh, we need to take your cell phone. So right? Right, yes. Many of us would do that. We would be bad criminals. But this now, the heart is now connected to this mirror. And I'm going to do everything and anything that I possibly can to figure out what is that. And I want to find everything that I can, because everything is pointing to these mirrors. And it could be that something very important happened in front of that mirror, or that it captured that reflection. What is a reflection? Well, a recording. You can call it that way. Does a mirror record? No, it does not. But a reflection is a recording in the energy. Now, do I think something really bad happened to her? Yes, I do. Do I believe that it is because, pardon me, I've got to find the lid to this or I'm going to be in trouble. Is it because someone else may have had a grudge? Is it because someone else had hard cheese? You know, is it because someone else is jealous? Is it because of any one of those things? Or is it because somebody close to Nancy in her circle of trust was offered money to come here, to do this to her, and now guilt? Watch. The guilt is about to start coming out. Watch people that are around her that you know. Watch them, absorb what they look like, because they will start changing. Their looks will start changing. And especially if they did something really, really bad to Nancy that they can't come back from, it takes a toll on your body physically, mentally, but especially spiritually. And I don't know if any of you have ever seen anyone who is possessed or works in the dark arts. In 7/10 of a second, in blink of an eye, their whole persona can change. Their whole looks can and will change. I've seen people that I've known for years, and if you mention some type of trigger word for them or something, it's like they become unrecognizable. But that is another thing. That can also be with possession of the spirit and of the body. So let's get the cards out, my darlings, because I want you to take the time today. For those of you who don't understand the pizza, and again, I'm going to say this. The person who was to receive the pizza had nothing to do with any type of crime, and I'm sure that the person who sent it did not. I don't want any hate here, because that's not what this is all about, but there's no coincidence, okay? Look it up. I'll be right back. We're back again, welcome, and today we have a variety of cards. I have the House of Zelda cards from my own collection, our friend, the Fire Cartomancy deck. We have a deck of cards called What Lies Beneath, and I'm going to tell you sometimes there's some things in there that are misspelled. We're not going to get hung up on that. This is a Lenormand deck, an Oracle deck called Malefic. Yes, Malefic. And of course we have the energy, the iron, and one day I'll tell you the importance of iron. All right? Really, really important. And of course, Moisha. We can't do anything right now without him, can we? I'm going to lay out, and some people are like, well, why do you lay out the way, the order you do? Well, I lay out the largest card first, because I do cover the card, so I lay out the largest card first, and we let the chips fall where they may. I'm going to ask, is this a cover-up? Overlooked evidence. Is that on purpose? Unexpected news. We'll set that here to the side. This pathway ahead came out maybe yesterday. We talked about a light being led, and it could be because, my darlings, you can't have dark lead the dark. You can't clean things in the dark. You've got to have light. Do I feel that that crime scene was messed with? In my opinion, yes. I feel that was the pathway ahead. Because why? In my opinion, there was too much time that passed. I don't know why I did that, pointing to a watch. I don't even have a watch. Anyway, there was too much time that passed between searching for Nancy and calling 911. The moment that you walked in and you saw doors propped open, Or here's the question. Here's the $1 million question of the day. Were the doors really propped open? Were the back doors really propped open? Was the crime scene really as immaculate and clean? Overlooked evidence. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and there is a camera. Now, are there cameras around? There were. Could they have images that they're not even telling the family about? They can. Overlooked evidence? I would maybe like to amend that and say maybe evidence that they really haven't made public. Unexpected news from our little furry friend here is coming once again, and I still feel we're going to be hearing from TMZ, from this person who had this ransom note, who's not very happy at all because he doesn't feel that people are taking him seriously, and he feels left out. Does he know something? I think my cat Riley probably knows more than that guy, but maybe. Now we're going to get some cards from this What Lies Beneath deck. Interesting deck. An interesting deck. We're going to do what we can to get this. There's one card in here that's very interesting. It's different than the others. We'll see if it comes out. Getting played. Manipulation, lies, and control. Yep. And I do believe that that's the pathway ahead, but I'm also going to tell you this. Do you notice something? There's not too much going on now anymore. On day 74, what's there to report except the same old thing? Most of the media have moved on. We're going to have to start moving on one of these days. Until something new comes out. That's okay. I'm going to still be here. We're still going to read on Nancy. Oh, there's one of the cards. We've got two of them here. Stagnant. Oh boy. What did I just say? Things are stagnant. They feel stuck. There's a dead end zone, and things feel frozen. So, give us an indication of who's manipulating and who's lying. Don't want to hear it. So, does that look familiar? Did you remember somebody grabbing their head when you saw them out and about in public? Maybe hiding? I don't know. In my opinion, is there some type of answers that these people possess? Yes, in my opinion. But they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear anything more. Are they that ready to move on? Is the family that ready to move on? Are the family members just wanting to now just say whatever, it's time to move on? Now, I get that to a certain degree now. I get it. But listen, if I lived within 4 miles of my mother where a supposed crime scene was, I don't think I could stay away. I think I would be camping out there to watch that house. I think I would be, There's the dog. Yep. I think they pulled the dogs too soon, and I know many of you are going to say, no, that's Nancy's dog. No, I think that I think that they pulled the dogs too soon, and I get a little dismayed when I hear that they don't want to bring the dogs back. You see, this is the Ten of Hearts here that it's connected to, and that's all about home and family. And yes, there was a dog there, but it passed away in December. And I'm hearing that it was old. I've heard that, I don't feel, and look, so what if she had a dog? Listen, my darlings, I want to tell you something. For those of you who don't know, I have been involved with people who have had things like this, home invasions and everything else. The dogs don't make it. They're the first ones that go. And I'm sorry to say that. And if this were that type of thing, it would not be that well played out. It would just be open the door. Oh, there's a barking puppy. Goodbye. Done. Get her. Let's go. That's how it works, my darlings. And, it's mean. It's horrible. It's sad. Let's do this one more. A clover. There is luck coming, but there's the Six of Diamonds, and it's all about communication. It's all about now what is coming. And you see, stagnant, stuck, dead end, frozen. And I'm wondering, did they just really stop? Did they just really quit? If they're put up against some huge big conglomerate like people from the epicenter, what happens? Are they stopped? Does it go to a different level? Uh-oh. Bless you, Sammy. All right. An anchor. This is telling us to stay anchored in, to stay true. Keep going. We're not going to sail away. There's a Nine of Spades right there. And you know what? This is a message to say we are on the right track, but to curb imagination. And that goes for, you know what? I think that she's got a boyfriend in Mexico. It's not opinions, unfortunately. I want to draw one more. There's the cross. And I do believe that Nancy was Christian. I believe that Savannah is Christian, but I'm not too sure about the rest of the family. I don't know, so I can't judge. This could mean many things. Let's ask. Let's ask, what does the cross mean here? What does the cross mean? What does this cross mean? Oh. Rats. All right. We're going to get one more. We're going to get one more. Stars. And you know what that is? That's a star card. That is for Nancy. And you know what that is? That is the Six of Hearts. And you know what the Six of Hearts is? We saw it yesterday. It's a sacrifice. The star card is the same as the Aquarius. It's the same as Nancy is a fixed air sign. So there's the cross. And I'm going to tell you something. These groups are not afraid of the cross. They're not afraid of that. But we're not going to look at the bottom yet. Here's the thing about this. Remember the little poem. Birds of a feather flock together. So do pigs and swine. Rats and mice have made their choice, and oh, have I made mine. That pretty much says that, look, you've got a choice to do whatever you want to do. You can hang out with the birds of a feather, flock together, rats and mice, pig and swine. But you got to know enough that when things are wrong, not to get involved. Last but not least, we have our friend, the Cartomancy. Tell us now, I'm hung up on this cross. I want to know about this cross. This isn't a good card. This 10 of spades is all about loss. It's all about impending loss, depression. It's the no card. It's the difficulty getting your point across. It's a card in which could even mean prison. There's a woman. It's not Nancy. And the 6 of clubs, meaning money worries. So whomever this woman is, and I just really believe that there is a woman, has had money worries. And I'm going to tell you something. Whatever has been promised to them, they certainly were either misled or they didn't get it right away. Some people did. But you see, people that are on a bigger level can make all the promises that they want, and when the deal is done, if you're not directly involved with them constantly, sort of, kind of, maybe, then guess what? And remember, there was a connection with the McClintocks, right? You know who those are, that wanted an introduction to a family member of Nancy's that could scrub the internet. Let's see what's in the unseen. I know this can be rough, and I'm really sorry because I know some people can't hardly hear it, but listen. We're talking reality, my darlings. Do the right thing. It's a message for whomever these people are. You're going to see them change. You're going to see what's up. Watching the Shisela go down. That's exactly right. Enjoying the gossip. I don't think they're enjoying it so much, my darlings. But I don't know, maybe the bigger picture are. Maybe they're kind of laughing at the 3-ring circus there at Pima County. Maybe they're just kind of laughing, sitting back, whomever did this, who the bigger people are, and say, gee whiz, this is like a Keystone Cop. The house with the Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts is a fall timing card, my darlings, and who knows? That could point to where the plan started to take form this past fall. And I believe that because, look, we had several factors there. We had the Olympics. I believe everything was pointed back to hurt Savannah. It was revenge, in my opinion. I'm not accusing anyone, I want you to know. Because I believe in fairness and I believe in justice, regardless of what anybody does. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. 7 of Hearts. The deed is done. It is fulfilled. It is a fulfillment of a particular act and basically saying they can move on, go on their own way. The agenda is closed. And most likely, the big people will never be brought to justice. I'm going to say I 100% think about that. And you know what? The same things kind of happen in Utah. We'll get on Patreon one day. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Find Nancy. Yeah, this is heavy.